Good Sunday morning. Welcome to another edition of the Sideline Junkie Sunday Rise. It's Championship Sunday, baby. Championship Sunday. The Sideline Junkie Sunday Rise. And that's me. That's me. I'm the big guy, KG. That's the incomparable, the undefeated, the well-versed Midnight Rider. And we are here to bring you the NFL championships, man, and a little bit something else, but mostly NFL championships. First and foremost, Midnight Rider, how you doing today?
Man, I'm good, man. Doing real good. I think I'm on from you. Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm doing real good, man. Making sure I'm not a victim of the mute button. Trying to get these numbers in real quick so we can go off of this line real quick. But other than that, man, I'm good, man. Solid.
Good. Man, Championship Sunday. This time of year, I think this is one of the greatest times of year because you got conference championships on Sunday. Then the Super Bowl's in a week or 2 weeks? What we doing the Super Bowl?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. So let me see. Super Bowl. And what Super Bowl is this we playing? What is this? 96, 97?
I think it's 54.
I think it is 54. Nope, 57.
God dang.
Yeah, we up to 57. February 12th, 2023.
It's a little getting old, man. Getting old.
Yeah. Look, I still remember, of course, one of the greatest Super Bowls of my lifetime, Super Bowl 26. I do remember that. Yeah, we got 2 weeks. Here's the crazy part about this time of year. This is why I love it. You get the last weekend in January used to be Super Bowl, but when they switched it around, they made the season longer. You get Royal Rumble, which was last night.
Mm-hmm.
You get the conference championships, which is today. Then you get I forget, next Sunday you get the Pro Bowl, which should have, I've said this before on many shows, it should be a spectacle like the NBA All-Star game where you have skills competition. Bring back Quarterback Club for Pro Bowl weekend. I guarantee you'll get a lot more viewers because that was great to watch. Bring back your fastest man competition. Bring back those type of things. But you got the Pro Bowl next week. Then you got the Super Bowl. Then after the Super Bowl, we got NBA All-Star weekend. That's why I love this group of Sundays because it's always something to watch. And then right after that, rookies, pitches and catches report to fucking training camp. This is, most people say the most wonderful time of the year is when your kids go back to school. Nah, the most wonderful time of the year is this little month and a half of sports because you get everything. You get sports overload and you get fat and full off of the 4 major sports. I love it, man. I love it. Then the NBA starts to really ramp up after All-Star weekend. And then the playoff races start getting tighter. Teams that were fringe teams either gonna make a move or they're gonna fall down. The top team got to keep going. Man, it's so much that happens in the next month and a half, and I love it. I love it.
This is the hardest part of the year for me because I know football is ending. So football takes up so much of my calendar on Saturday and Sundays that now I just become free. Now I gotta find shows to watch. I probably end up watching something. I don't know. So if you got show suggestions, put it in the thing. Cause right now, brother, from like once we end the show, from now until 3, I might watch college basketball. I might not.
Well, shoot, you want shows?
TV is gone now.
You want shows? I got shows for you.
All right,
I got you. You can watch Young Rock, which is actually pretty good.
Okay.
James wouldn't agree. Nubian Sumo would not agree. But Young Rock is pretty good. Godfather of Harlem is really good. I want to get into Last of Us because the game is really good. I want to see the TV show as good as the game. Okay. Of course, The Walking Dead is over, but I've been binge watching all the early seasons of Walking Dead and refamiliarizing myself with it before I really get to the end. And then we still got movies for The Walking Dead coming. Man, you got so much that could go. I mean, hell. You can always hit YouTube and watch NBA Open Court. Yeah. You can watch America's Game. I mean, it's so much that you can watch. And I spend a day, any day, especially a Saturday. Saturday, I don't have anything to do. Man, I will turn on demand, and I'll watch Good Times from season 1 to season 7 in a day, and it'll just play over and over and over. And matter of fact, it's on Peacock. I'll watch that all day long. I watch that. Oh, don't get me started on Law and Order. You can get lost in Law and Order. So it's so many choices. So you don't have to worry about not having nothing to watch. It's a plethora of things to watch. But I biggest suggestion, Godfather Harlem. If you have never watched that, start in season 1 and follow that. We're in season 3 now. I think today will make episode 3 of season 3. And I haven't started. I like to let it go a couple of episodes before I really jump into it for the new season, so I can watch it and I can have time to watch it back to back, and I don't have to wait a week.
I got you.
And then don't forget about in March, you got Winning Time coming back for season 2.
What was Winning Time?
Oh my God, the Dynasty of the Lakers. Oh my! Oh, that is good. That is 10 episodes. Season 1. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's actually on HBO Max. Jerry West is a little upset about it. A lot of Lakes. Kareem was upset about it. Jerry West was upset about it. But they shot this. I think they started shooting this show. They shot the first season back in 2019. The pandemic pushed it back. But even Dario got into it, and we watched that faithfully. But nobody else, none of the other Sideline Junkies watched it. So I was watching it by myself in the group. So I was like, yeah, I would love to talk about that. You know, compare what happened in the show to what happened in real life.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's options there. And I'm going to give you an option today. We did way too early on Thursday. Ain't early no more. We got Niners versus Eagles in Philly. San Francisco fans have already taken over. They've put instead of the Rocky statue, they call it Brocky. So
it's the one thing you don't do. Like you don't poke the bear, but I think they punched the bear in this situation by putting the 49er jersey or t-shirt over Rocky. That's and then trying to go into Philly and thinking you're gonna take over Philly. I'm sorry, it's Philly. That's not the place you're gonna go take over. You can try to, you can think it's gonna happen, but that ain't happening. It's gonna be a couple of red jerseys that have, and it's not gonna be because they were red from the 49er colors. They're gonna be red from the blood, because Philly looks for a fight. So
Philly is one of those cities you don't go in wearing the opposing team's jersey. Like let's say we did a day trip to Philly and we wanted to go see Commanders versus Philly. We're not gonna wear our gear in the Philly. That's what we're not gonna do. We're not wearing our gear in the Philly because we're not crazy. This is the same place, even though it was at the Vet, but Lincoln Financial Field has a jail and a judge downstairs. You don't go in there. That's hostile territory. You'll get away with it going to Dallas doing that, but you're not going to get away in Philly doing that.
It's funny how our fan base represents down in Dallas.
Yeah.
It's probably harder there than anywhere else.
And you know what? It's probably the same thing that happens here in DC, where we got so many Dallas fans here. And, you know, I like to always say, man, you know, closest y'all ever been to Texas is Texas Avenue. So, you know, I lived in Dallas. When did you live in Dallas? I've known you your whole damn life. When you live in Dallas? Boy, you live over there on 43rd with your grandmama. And then you got an apartment down the street on 65th. Shut up, man. I know I've known you your whole life. Stop it. But the fan bases, I love to see it because we might have ourselves a budding rivalry with Eagles 49ers. We might have a budding rivalry. And the Eagles are 2.5-point favorites. Of course, this is number 1 versus number 2.
Right. I think we said earlier, like this is the best you can hope for a championship weekend. I think we got the best 4 teams. There's no flukes. There's nobody that's gonna get blown out. Now, I'm gonna say nobody's getting blown out, but the Niners probably have what I want to say, the biggest opportunity to be blown out, just because the uncertainty at quarterback. And I watched the Eagles. I'm a sports junkie, so I watched somebody's, I think it was Baldy and a couple other people do some breakdowns with the Philadelphia defense. And yeah, oh my. The way they blitz, the Hassan Reddick, the Josh Sweat, I think their defense had 70 sacks or 75 sacks this year, and that's only second to the 85 Bears, who had 80 as a team. This defense is going to get after him, and Brock Purdy's going to see some things that he hasn't seen before. I watched a couple of blitz pickups, blitzes they sent last week against Dallas. Against the Giants, and whew, I mean, we kind of talked about it before. When the person blitzes and you look up and everybody's still covered, worst feeling in the world. And I think Purdy's going to get some of that today. So it's going to be interesting if McCaffrey's calf, say that 3 times real fast, can hold up, and then what kind of plays they make on their side, on the defensive side of the ball, because I think both defenses can affect this ball game in a positive way, garnering points for the offense, and making it easy on them, shortening the field for them. But the only problem is they're equally good. They're probably, I don't even know stat wise if they're 1 and 2, but they're the 2 best defenses I've seen all year, easily, and the most complete, because they are, again, layers. When we talk about, like Shrek said, ogres have layers like onions, and these defenses have layers, whether it's the front 4, whether it's the linebacking core, or the safeties in the corners. They're just layers of talent on this field on both sides.
Let me say this. I'm going to throw this at you. I don't know. I can't remember whose film breakdown it was. That play where the 49ers defense and Fred Warner, he chased down, he was in the box. He wound up coming across the field and picking up, I think that was CeeDee Lamb, and knocking the ball away. Somebody broke that down, and they said, look at this. They isolated it. They said, how did Dak not see where the blitz was coming from? They do this. It's on film. Mm-hmm. They bring guys up to the left, and those guys fall off, and then it's a guy from the right that comes free. What's the T.Y. Hilton?
Then they'll flip it.
Yeah. T.Y. Hilton was he said, look at all the green. Before they pre-snap, look at all the green. T.Y. Hilton ran a seam, and he went straight up. All Dak had to do was lay that thing out there. He would have walked in the end zone from at least a 10. I mean, and when I say walk, I mean walk. It would have been to the point they would have just looked up and be like, all right, touchdown, man. Come on. Let's go ahead and catch the extra point. Because he was that wide open. But Dak looked at the blitz. He seen Fred Warner. I don't know if he looked right, but what's the protege of Palomalu? I can't think of his name. Mafanga. He came screaming in from the right. Dak, how do you not see him? And I can't think of who it was. He said, look at the breakdown. He said, look at this. He said, this guy is standing there in a typical I'm about to blitz stance. Look, don't see me. I'm not doing nothing. I ain't doing nothing over here. I ain't doing nothing. His hands are down. He's trying to make himself as small as possible. I'm not doing nothing. I'm not doing nothing. Nothing to see. Nothing to see. Then you snap the ball and he's zoom. How do you not see that?
I love that kid.
Yeah, I'm starting to become a fan. Like watching him and watching how he's shooting the gap and timing it just right. I'm loving it, man. I'm a fan of defense, period. But I am loving. I love Philly's defense, and I think it's blasphemous for me to say that, but I'll be blasphemous on a Sunday. Yeah. I love Philly's defense just as well as I love the 49ers defense. But
so we got. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'll say Philly runs. Here's the irony for me is Philly runs a similar 5-man front like we run, but the difference is their ends are super light. So their ends are probably like 240. They probably weigh like linebacker weight. That's Josh Sweat and Hassan Reddick. And I still don't understand why when Arizona drafted Reddick, they tried to make him inside linebacker. Never understand that. Kid can fly, and they messing up the same way they messing up Isaiah Simmons which is another show and a topic. But when teams draft players and then miscast them, which we're used to here in Washington, but I watched their ends bail out and go cover the flats, and then the blitz comes from the two linebackers on the inside in the same gap. It's just like I said, it's just beautiful. And I don't even like defense. I don't care for defense. Like defense for me, yeah, let's blitz so that way I can get the offense back on the field and get this over with. I don't want to see all this crap. I want my offense to move the ball down the field. I want to pick you apart, run the ball down your throat every now and then boom, we score points. And then we put up as much points, I like it 40. I like to score 42. You know what I'm saying? But back to this Eagles game, I'm going to stay on point for this. I'm taking the Eagles and the -2.5 because I think they'll win by a field goal, and I think that field goal will hit late. And I'm going to go under. I don't like to do unders, but I think we might have like a 2017 type of ball game because if this is anything like last week's game with the Cowboys, I think the defenses will reign supreme and the offenses will find limited success.
God, now you put me on the spot because you got two vicious defenses, and we did it way too early. And
I think I picked the Niners and out way too early.
Yeah, I think I picked the Niners too, and I'm gonna stick with the Niners today. And the Niners will cover; they'll win by 3. But this will be one of the greatest NFC Championship games in recent history.
I think it's this show. Like I will go all week with one thought, and then the second we put the thing up, and I start. It's like I think. Did you ever used to watch? What's that fantasy football show? My niece is gonna kill me because it used to be our favorite show. But there was this guy Ruxin on the show, and he would do this thing where all week long he would have his fantasy football lineup set, and then all of a sudden, like 5 minutes before kickoff, he flips his lineup, and then all of a sudden the whole new lineup is in there, and like everybody he took out had great games, and everybody he put in had horrible games. So, it's called The League. That's what it was. It's The League. It used to come on FX. It was like 4 friends that had like a fantasy league, and it was a funny show.
I've been there before. That's a terrible feeling. You think, oh man, this guy ain't gonna play too well today. Let me go ahead and drop him. Then he winds up scoring 42, 43 points, and the guy you replaced him with only give you 12.
Well, I think I was that guy one year that it was I think I had Roethlisberger on the bench, and he put up 62 fantasy points. And it was just like, and I lost my matchup by like 12, and the quarterback that was in had 22. That alone wins the game right there. That's another great topic for the offseason.
Of course, fantasy football, because you know what I miss? I miss those fantasy football leagues where I could use 2 quarterbacks in my lineup.
I've never been in one of those.
I was in one, and when I tell you, when you had Seattle Russell Wilson, not Broncos country, let's ride, but Seattle Russell Wilson, and I think I had Tom Brady and Russell Wilson at the same time. And this is Tom Brady with the Patriots. This is before we started our own league.
So put a pin in Tom Brady. There's two names you got to put pins in for our fantasy. Go ahead, write in the notebook. I'm dead serious.
All right.
Travis Henry.
Oh, Lord.
There's a Travis Henry story.
Travis Henry.
Tom Brady story.
Okay. Let me see. Fantasy.
Yep, our fantasy football show. I'll try to save those conversations for that, but yeah.
All right. But I love that. I love to be able to use 2 quarterbacks because, quarterbacks get you some numbers because they got to touch the ball on offense every time.
I got to get back in the keeper league. That's what I want. I got to get back to. Because I used to have stables of running backs in keeper leagues. Oof.
The last 3 years I've had Josh Jacobs.
So I'll put it to you like this: at their height, one year I used to always have LT. I had Larry Johnson, some version of Larry Johnson or Sean Alexander on my squad. Those are my 2 backs. And then the third back would be whoever the rookie running back was, because I'm always drafting rookie running backs. It's probably one of the biggest things I do, and I love it because I start, especially my ESPN league that I just finished second in. I start the season with the worst fantasy score. Like they always put me last, and I know why. Because I got 4 rookies on my team that I know by November they're gonna start kicking in and putting up numbers. So yeah, back to Championship Sunday.
I'm taking the Niners in this one.
Okay.
41-38, last second field goal. Over. I'm taking the over. Old-fashioned shootout, true shootout, 41-38. Not because there's no defense played, it's just going to pop that way. I think both defenses will score in this game.
And you know what's interesting about this? And it's not even this game, it's just the weekend. I think there's people always talk about the quarterback position, but if the quarterback ain't got nobody to throw to, then it's a whole different situation. And if we take the Eagles acquire AJ Brown, put him with Devontae Smith. Now you got the 3 Batmans. Offense is moving. Jalen Hurts looks better than he ever looked before. Purdy, even though he's a rookie, he's got a running game. He's got Debo. He's got Ayuk, and he's got Kittle. He's got weapons. Chiefs lost your boy, the cheetah, and I'm keep telling you, I'm gonna say this till I'm blue in the face. Kadarius Toney, Jared McKinnon, Juju, Kelsey, like they have weapons. The Bengals, oh my gosh. The Bengals have Mixon, Chase, Boyd, Higgins.
Don't forget Samaje Perine.
Man, that dude found him a role.
And he stuck to it.
Yep. That's all it is. Sometimes you just gotta find the right spot, right team to believe in you.
That's true. That is true.
And then you got even the 15. If you say Buffalo's 5, they went and got Diggs to make Allen better. I think when we talk about quarterbacks, and this is where I'm going in this scenario, in this thing is we start talking about quarterbacks. You always it's not even sometimes, you always have to look to what's to the left and to the right and what's behind them. Because if you don't, you're judging the kid wrong. And that's how I feel about Justin Fields. If the Bears want to trade him and they don't want a King's ransom, I'd take Justin Fields. I'd give you a Daron Payne for Justin Fields type of move and go with that. Just because Fields is going to make with Terry and Dotson and Samuel, and then you got B. Rob and behind them, that makes the team a whole lot better. And yeah, but again, off my soapbox.
Next game. Oh, somebody's knocking at the door. Who could it be? Well, look at who it is. Making her 2023 debut. We haven't seen her since last year. The Swamp Queen herself, Lady C. How you doing?
Hi. Can we hear me well?
Yes,
Yep.
we can hear you.
Good deal. How y'all doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Just want to say that adulting sucks.
Okay.
Yes, being an adult sucks. It's fun sometimes only because you're old enough to drink, but that's it.
Well, some people say it's the most ghettoest neighborhood I've ever been in, and I give it 1 star out of 5.
No, I give it 0 stars. Definitely do not recommend.
Well, look, I spent my whole entire childhood wanting to be an adult so nobody could tell me what to do, just for people to tell me what to do.
I
Man,
missed you guys. I just missed you guys.
we missed you.
Of course we missed you.
I told you that yesterday.
Yes. I got a very stern talking to. So I'm good.
All right. Make that presence known.
All right, what are we talking about today, guys?
Well, we on Bengals Chiefs right now. That's coming up at 6 o'clock tonight. Bengals 1.5 point favorites. I'm sorry, Chiefs 1.5 point favorites. Over under is 48.5. This is being played at Burrowhead Stadium, which is crazy because Joe Burrow kind of sort of owns Patrick Mahomes, kind of like Mahomes was owning everybody when he first started. So
I think they have 3 wins against them in a calendar year.
Yep.
Yeah.
So will this make number 4 is the question.
Mahomes is definitely losing steam. He's still on his game, but he's kind of losing a little steam with that. So hopefully they can pull it out. Because I think this is Burrow's year again to do what they do. He's on a high. Burrow's on a high. Like ain't no like Bengals, like they ain't been this good for shucks since ever.
Yes,
ever. Like I'm trying to remember, but it's not coming. So yeah, never.
So their best team was probably the '89.
Wait. So we're gonna skip over those Ken Anderson led teams in the 70s with Bill Walsh and Paul Brown. We're gonna skip over the Ken Anderson led team that went to the Super Bowl in 83.
Historian coming.
I'm sorry, 81.
The 81 Super Bowl team. Who do you remember off that team besides Pete Johnson and Ken Anderson? Okay. Was Eddie Brown the receiver that time?
Hold on.
I'm digging deep in the archives, trying to think of the receiving core. I know they had a cornerback that wore 13. I think his name was Raleigh. Because that's the year they played the championship game in Cincinnati and it was minus 13 degrees.
Because they beat San Diego Chargers, yeah.
Right. James Jefferson, Kellen Winslow.
Yeah. They had Chris Collinsworth on that team, Isaac Curtis, Steve Kreider, Don Bass. You had Archie Griffin.
Okay.
So they had a squad.
I remember that squad now. So Eddie and company is the next is with Boomer.
Okay, so we're looking at what, 30, 40 years?
Well, that was just one. When they got Boomer just started up.
They actually had a team with Carson. I mean, and if Chemo doesn't take his knee out, I think that's a whole different ballgame. Because that Cincinnati team with Chad Johnson, TJ Houshmandzadeh, who used to be a Conti staple in fantasy football, but TJ was on that joint. Yeah, they had a nice little squad right in that section. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lady C. I apologize.
Yeah, no, nothing. Because I don't remember any of that. So, because I wasn't here in the 70s.
Wow. Okay. All right. I appreciate that. The week after my birthday, and I'm starting to get these AARP things in the mail because I'm close to 50. I appreciate that.
Well,
so I mean, hey, because I was definitely not prepared for anything today. I'm gonna go ahead and pull for the Chiefs for this. I really want Mahomes to get him a good one in. But that's it.
Well, that 88 team featured Boomer Esiason, James Brooks, Stanford Jennings, Mark Logan, Stanley Wilson, and Ickey Woods in the backfield. Eddie Brown, Chris Collinsworth, Tim McGee.
That's the 85 name I was thinking about. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because Tim McGee played here. I remember him. Played here in 93.
I think I was maybe about 4 or 5 in 88.
We're going to just keep rubbing salt in the wound.
Yeah, that's what you do.
We're rubbing salt in the wound.
If I'm not mistaken, that was the Dan Buns stop at the goal line.
Yep.
Or was that 81? Was the Dan Buns stop?
Don't get me the line.
He can't remember that far back.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not missing my gosh, I missed y'all. Missed y'all.
We miss you too. Oh, yeah, okay. Got you. That's how we doing this, Lady C. I got you.
Look, the queen returns. You understand me?
Mhm.
The queen returns. Still with all the shit. And
I
even more
see.
shit.
Always.
So what you got, Ben? And did you
So,
already call it?
no, I haven't done my pick on this.
Oh.
If you've been watching, I think I have to make it official. Like, Joe Burrow is my quarterback. He's my favorite quarterback in this league right now. And that's a deviation because it used to be Pat. But since the torch is getting passed from Pat to Joe, I think it's going to get passed here in this situation. I think the Bengals make it 4 in a row because I've never seen the way the Bengals came out the last 2 weeks. It's almost like disrespectful the way they just walk on the field because they feel like you can't stop them. And they don't care what you do defensively or whatever. They're going to get theirs. They didn't have 3 of their offensive linemen last week, and they just went through Buffalo like a hot knife through butter. So I don't see that stopping. I don't see the Chiefs having enough. And this going to sound blasphemous. I don't think the Chiefs have enough to stop Cincinnati from winning this ball game. I think it'll be high scoring. I think we definitely going to hit the over. We're going to be over 48.5. And the Bengals, since I'm getting plus 1.5, I'm taking that all day long because I know the Bengals going to win this outright. But the way Burrow and the boys, Boyd, Higgins, and company have been playing, man, I just don't see a way that the Chiefs can stop this. And I actually think what's going to hurt the Chiefs the most is the fact that you're not going to have a mobile Mahomes. And I was so waiting for Lady C to say Pat freaking Mahomes, but she didn't indulge me in that. So that's cool. But yeah, that's just what it is, man. I just think the Bengals win this just because of, and I'll steal this, Joe freaking Burrow.
No, it's still gonna be Aaron freaking Rodgers. I don't give a damn how y'all feel.
It's not no more. It's Joe freaking Burrow now.
I look. We're gonna have to pray about that one, okay?
Okay.
I may join. I don't know, but no.
Okay.
Patrick fucking Mahomes and Aaron freaking Rodgers. So
Okay.
and Tom the damn goat Brady, but whatever. Yeah,
I'm gonna say this.
like sour milk in my mouth when I say Tom Brady.
Okay.
I'm taking Cincinnati in this one, and I'm taking the over. I think this might not be a game after the third quarter. I think Cincinnati gets to Patrick Mahomes to the point where he's hurt again, and he's going to have to pull off a miracle. But I don't think it's going to be a game after the third quarter. I think it's going to be over, and the Lamar Hunt Trophy leaves his rightful home of Kansas City and goes back to Cincinnati for the 4th time. So
You just said something. Go repeat what you said. You said the trophy goes back to Cincinnati, Lamar Hunt, but you said something right before that.
what, it leaves his rightful home?
Before that, there was one more thing you said. I'm trying to think what you just said because something struck a nerve and then it caught me, but I got stopped because I got a 40-year-old. Since I'm old now, the brain don't work like it used to.
That Patrick, they're gonna get the Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, there you go. Because what I've seen now is somehow Chad Henne has become Superman. Like, no matter what happens, all the Chiefs do is Mahomes goes down, Chad Henne comes in, and he actually leads a drive and looks like a real quarterback for like 16 plays. And the beauty of it is Mahomes is so resilient that after you get that like little flash of 10 plays of Chad Henne actually looking like a quarterback, Mahomes is like, all right, that's good. Now get out the field and let me do my thing. And I think that's been their saving grace, because I think he actually won one of their playoff games last year or 2 years ago for them. So it's amazing how when you have a good coach, the offense runs no matter who's behind the helm. And then when you have talent around them, like we talked about earlier, good things happen. Thank you. See? But all it took, it's like a lawnmower. It's like a gas lawnmower. You got to pull the cord a couple times before it gets revved up, man.
I hear you. But I don't believe in Chad Henne against this Cincinnati defense. Sorry. Lady C.
I'm not. I'm gonna stick with my my hope of the Chiefs. I'm not gonna get into the lawnmower reference. But I remember back in my day, I used to have to crank up a damn lawnmower. Took forever to get that damn thing going. But I'm gonna let it go. But my final pick is gonna be Pat. I'm gonna stick with Pat Mahomes. That's my baby. That's my boy.
Okay. Sticking with the NFL, Washington Commanders have requested permission to speak to Eric Bieniemy about their open OC job. The Midnight Rider has something to say about this off air, so I'll let him speak on that. You on the mute. You defeated by the mute button.
I got you. I saw it happening. So number one, Eric Bieniemy will not be a head coach in the NFL. No matter what kind of process you put in place, he will not get a head coaching job. I'm comfortable saying that. I didn't want to say it, but I got to say it now, because I feel like once you go through this process once or twice, it's almost like they've got so much information on you that they're never going to take a chance on you. And it's like becoming an NFL head coach now is more so about how young you are, more so than about anything else. And I think that's where he struggles, or he's going to struggle. Now, the rumors are he's, of course, has an interview with the Commanders. There's a talk about him and the Titans, and there's talk about him with the Ravens. If I'm him, my pie chart or my ranking of these teams is 1 Ravens, because I have the stability of John Harbaugh. That's the right Harbaugh, right, John? Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just Harbaugh. And I have an organization, and I have Lamar Jackson. And hopefully, if maybe the sun shines on the GM's ass and he decides to draft a receiver or sign a receiver to make Lamar actually worth his while. Because even Lamar made Hollywood Brown look pretty decent when Hollywood wasn't dropping the passes he threw to him. So with a Bateman and another receiver on that team, that can work out. Number 2 would be the Titans. Again, job security, because you got Vrabel, who's been there for about 10 years now. And that situation kind of is not in flux. And then 3 would be Washington. And the reason I would even consider the Washington job is the talent around, like we talked about earlier, the Doxsons, Samuel, B-Rob, Gibson. No shock here.
McLaurin.
McLaurin. And no shock here, but I'm drafting a running back this year. Yes, I'm drafting a running back. There's a kid out of Texas A&M. I think his last name is Lashane or something like that. He's a return man and he's a running back. Boom. I like Jonathan Williams. I like Patterson. But they don't give me what I need. I need a return man.
That's where Gibson comes in.
Yeah, he's a kick return man. I need a punt return man. I can't have Captain Fair Catch back there.
Yeah, Dax Milne. I never liked Dax Milne back there anyway.
No, I like him because he doesn't lose the football. I get it. And
I need somebody that's going to advance the ball.
I get that. But when I used to say, whenever people complain about him, I was like, he catches the ball. Because that was our issue with Steve Sims. Steven Sims' biggest issue was he couldn't catch the ball consistently, and he would put it on the ground every now and then. So now, Dax Milne, he catches the ball. I have nothing else good to say about him, but he catches the football. But yeah, I think Eric Bieniemy is in a bad spot because I think he has 16 head coaching interviews. So I think he's at a point of no return where he's not going to impress anybody anymore because the book is out on him. And now I think he's becoming the Jim Caldwell version, the younger Jim Caldwell, where he gets the interview just to fulfill the Rooney Rule. And then that's even crazier is, think about this. The NFL is incentivizing teams to hire minority coaches, and they still won't do it.
That says a lot.
I'm gonna leave that there.
That says a lot. But I think the Rooney Rule needs to be revised because teams skirt around. You know who you want. You fire your coach, you already know who you want. And of course, there's backdoor dealings and things like that. And with those backdoor dealings, guys like Eric Bieniemy, Jim Caldwell, Steve Wilks, Lovie Smith, Raheem Morris, guys like that do not get a chance again because there's already backroom dealings. So let's call in Jim Caldwell and have him interviewed. All right, yeah, well, we take y'all to dinner, give you a nice dinner, but we're not going to hire you. Or you'll interview a minority position coach on the staff already or in the building, knowing full and well you're not giving them the job.
I had a running joke, Jerry Gray. I forgot what year he was in. He got interviewed by Washington. And I really believe wholeheartedly that Jerry Gray was at the coffee machine. Bruce Allen came in, said, "What do you think about coaching this team?" He said, "Oh, man, it'd be nice to coach this team." He said, "All right, cool." And then he wrote down Jerry Gray's name as an personally interviewed for the job. Like, I think it's such a sham at this point that we always talk about, like, black coaches not being able to pick your opportunities. And I actually feel bad for Byron because I think Byron messed himself up by not taking the opportunity last year. And I think he's going to fall out of the circle of guys being considered for head coaching jobs. And it's amazing to me that last year, when the Bucs offense was running well, it was all about Tom. Tom did this, Tom did that. We discredited Byron. But now the offense struggles. Who gets the blame? It ain't Tom. That's crazy.
It's the way the world works.
Exactly, but yeah, I don't think Bieniemy ends up here. I actually think it's either Shermer or Zampese. And then I think they bring in somebody else. Now, the other thing I didn't know was, and I forgot about, on the defensive side, I think Del Rio's contract is up. So the question becomes, does Steve Wilks become your DC / DB coach, or you bring in somebody young to coach the DBs? Dear Washington fans, please don't ever say the name Darryl Green for this because he's not a DB coach.
He coached this DB.
He just talked to you, dog. He didn't coach you. If you wanted to be coached by a real DB, you should have gone to the GOAT, Dion, and stood at the foot of prime.
But
Darryl can't teach you technique. Darryl was just fast.
Shit.
He ain't teach you nothing, dog.
He told me enough.
He was just so bright-eyed and bushy-tailed that he could have told you that the sun spins backwards around the earth. And you've been happy with that. So don't even start that.
Your point being?
You like that lady that touched the hem of Jesus' garment. You touched the hem of Darryl Green's garment, and you was good to go.
I ain't got no comeback. I'm gonna leave you alone on that one. I ain't got no comeback. But you said Zampese. Zampese is already on the staff. I think he should be the front runner. See what he can do. I mean, this is Ken Zampese's son. I mean, dude, you can do something.
And that's the other beauty of this. You just said it like I'm so amazed at how the coaching pool, and excuse this word I'm gonna use, but it's so ancestral. So there's it's either you the son of somebody for the nepotism part. or you the son-in-law of somebody,
Yeah.
and it's all kept in the house.
That's how you get coaching jobs in NFL.
Yeah,
You got to be either the son of somebody or you got to be sleeping with somebody's daughter.
So I think Wes Phillips, and I might have this wrong.
Maybe sleeping with that somebody,
Hey,
it's a new, new world.
I knew it's the old world. Making it do what it do, baby.
I mean, they work it very well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stop for HR get me.
Uh-oh.
I mean, truth is truth. That's one of the things. Truth is truth. HR can get mad about that, but truth is truth.
I mean, some things you just everything got to be lined up right. Like you either got to be, the son of, or son-in-law of, or side piece of.
Here we go, lady. See, back in the house.
Or you might need to be, or just have to. The criteria, is son of, son-in-law of, side piece of, or the color, the color of your skin appears to be what kind of
time. Now take your time on this one. Let's go. You barking up the right tree. Yeah, let it go.
Because it's Sunday, so let me go ahead and preach this.
Yes, indeed, Lord. God is good all the time. Yes.
Because if thou art not the right color, thou just may not be seen in the room.
Well.
So, I mean, and it depends on how hard you're on your knees. And I'm not necessarily talking about praying either.
But you know what they say, though. You know what they say. Everybody kneeling ain't praying because nobody knows where the nose goes with the doors closed.
All right, talk to him. Take your time, man. Take your time. Preach that.
So, I mean, the way that's how it's been. Like, and then if you like Tomlin's on that bubble. He's ready to get that boot. But my opinion, he's one of the best.
No losing season.
And the opinion of others, he's one of the best. But he's on that bubble all the time. Even more so now because of their season. So, but he was on that bubble from jump. He was on bubble when he stepped on the scene.
Mm-hmm. Well, over here at the sideline of Junkies Baptist Church, what we do here, we talk about things like the color of your skin. Talk about how that gets you a job, who you're sleeping with, and who you've been with. To get you going through the day. Yes, indeed. I'm sorry.
Did he have to pull out a towel?
He pulled out the towel.
Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. Let's head to this last topic.
I have missed y'all so freaking much.
Oh my God.
I just got this. I have missed y'all ever so dearly.
My sister watching, she already knows about that one. Oh my God.
Well, with this last topic, last night we had an egregious affair of the Lakers being robbed out of possibly a win. LeBron drives to the lane for an easy layup, gets smacked by Tatum, no call. Game goes to overtime. Lakers lose in overtime. Before the overtime period, at the end of regulation, Pat Bev brings the camera over to the ref.
Yep.
Foul. The ref tees him up. You teed that man up because he showed you proof that it was a foul? This is where I'm going with this. And I really do believe this. I believe there's an agenda at times to make it so the Celtics get W's a lot more than anybody else, because this particular referee has the Celtics 36-2 over the last 38 games he's ref for them. A lot of no calls, a lot of phantom calls, things like that. And let me put it this way. I've been around NBA basketball an awful lot. I know about the Jordans intimidating referees into making calls. I didn't see it, Mike. I didn't see it. But if you say he fouled, all right, foul on. You know, I've heard referees talk about Reggie Miller pushing off, and well, we can't call it because it happened so fast, and MJ actually traveling a lot when he goes to make a move, but his feet are so quick you can't call it in real time. You can only call it in you know, when you see it on tape. I get that because human eye, but that call should have been reviewed, and it was not. That was egregious. It was foul and downright dirty. And I think that referee should be investigated. I think that crew should be investigated. And I think that, honestly, this has to stop. I understand we're humans and we make errors, but come on now. These are fucking errors that should not be made.
KG, you're barking up the wrong tree.
I know I am.
Because the only one that ever did anything erroneous was Tim Donaghy. Tim Donaghy was the only referee.
The only one they caught.
No. He was the only referee to ever show favoritism to a team in a gambling scandal. It's no way no other referee besides Tim Donaghy was involved in all of this besides Tim Donaghy. And if you can't hear the sarcasm in my voice, I apologize, but it's amazing to me how the NBA and the officials, look, I coach basketball. I know when we crossed that bridge to go in VA, and we were playing the VA team, and we weren't getting any calls. So I can only imagine what an NBA ref goes through. And this guy, you said he's 36-2 when Boston plays. There's another ref, I can't think of his name, but when he does Chris Paul games, Chris Paul is like 2-11 or 2-14 when he does the games. Like, these are stats that have to stick out to somebody in the court of fairness to make sense. Like, when KG says put a pin in, that's something you got to put a pin in. You got to understand, like, you got to ask the question, what's going on here? And for this guy to be 36-2 with Boston playing, I don't know. I mean, if it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, it got to be a goddamn duck.
Affleck.
Exactly. Yeah, it's all y'all. I'm good.
Yeah, I got nothing. As you know, I'm not a basketball person, so I don't know. If it's wrong, it's wrong. Y'all say it's wrong, and then it's wrong.
Yeah.
If it's right, then you say it's right. Hell, if you say that the sun is doing backflips every time Bron shoots a 3, then hey, then the sun does backflips. That is exactly how much I know and pay attention to basketball. Like, I can't sit down and go deep into the rules and regs and all of that, and I kind of pay attention to the politics of it here and there, but yeah, that's about it.
No, but you didn't miss much. You just missed the Lakers getting robbed in Boston. So Tim, if you're watching, I hope whatever beer you're drinking tastes like piss water. So
is it a little Suge Avery in there?
Huh?
Is it a little Suge Avery in there?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just saying. This is that's he understands where I'm coming from with this because he's Boston, I'm LA. Yeah. I know we got robbed last night, and I don't know. I don't know what the league would do because it's Boston and they love Boston. I mean, we're the only team that ever have a trade denied or declined because the NBA just said, "Oh no, we don't like this deal." So.
Look, I just want to say that, hell, the refs got to put their kids through school too now. Look.
Exactly.
Everybody got to get it how they can sometimes. Refs got to put their kids through school. Them damn school fees be ridiculous. And don't let them be in sports. Dance line is just fucking retarded.
See, you just segue into something that just happened what was that? Memphis? With the Memphis PD beat where they put knots on top of knots on that kid's head? That wasn't. I don't care what nobody says. That wasn't police work going bad. That wasn't a beating of excessive force. That was personal.
That was personal.
That he fucked up the church's money, and the church was those 5 dudes. I don't care what nobody says. And I don't mean to speculate, but I'm going to speculate. Like that looked very personal to me. I didn't watch the film. I just saw the results. And when a dude got knocked on top of knots, that's different. That was a capital AW. And they didn't care because they knew that the film was on. They didn't even cut their body cameras off. At least the white cops weren't able to cut the body camera off. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that out loud, but you know what I'm saying.
Hey.
But so, I mean, somebody got to get through school. And I guess those cops' kids, somebody messed up some money for them kids to get to daycare or whatever it was. But yeah, that looked very personal and very money related. You don't beat nobody's ass like that just because you was having a bad day. Nah.
That's true.
You had a bad day.
Yeah, I knew you was going to think. I set it up. I teed it up. Thank you. You won't get this reference, but in that moment, I was Sherman Douglas and you was Stevie Thompson. You won't get the references. Old school Syracuse basketball.
Yeah.
General.
No.
But
I mean, you said old school, so I don't get that reference either.
we are at the end of our show for today. So we got the one and only Swamp Queen, the Lady C, back in studio today. Good to see her back. The boss BJ was supposed to join.
Together.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. No.
The boss BJ was supposed to be here, but he had some other pressing issues. So we'll hear from him later on in the week. Geez, man. Championship Sunday. Next week we got the Pro Bowl flag football team. And you know, they're gonna go out there. I don't even think they're playing flag football. I think they're gonna play 2-hand touch. But if that, you know, no pity pat. So
they're gonna go by.
That's old school pity pat.
Yeah, no pity pat. They might, you know what they should do? They should, for Pro Bowl, on top of the skills competition, they should play throwback tackle.
Oh no, that means people gonna get hurt. Yeah, for them they got those.
You can't do that.
This generation, it'd be throwback tag.
A throwback grab.
Yeah,
something like that. You know,
throwback tag.
You know, come on now. I used to love that, man. I used to love when everybody running for the ball and all of a sudden the ball come loose and I just scoop that thing up and run. I used to love that. But anyhow, Championship Sunday. Enjoy the games because, you know, we'll be back on Tuesday with the Tuesday night flight to wrap it up and break it down. But until then, we don't do no overtime. We are out of here.
Let's go, Warriors.